wall is back. If you know, you know. But yeah, it actually just moved from my studio room to my bedroom because I just couldn't throw it away. You know what I mean? It just looks so cool. I worked so hard on it. But anyways, it's also a lot easier to put up when your walls are white and not red like they were in my previous room. But anyways, so today's video, if you haven't already seen from the title, is going to be dealing with detoxes. Now, one thing I do want to really mention before I start, the next 3 videos in the Vita series are all kind of tied together. They're kind of, things that can benefit your life. They're things that I've been doing recently that I have seen a positive effect on my life, and I really want to just kind of put those out there because, again, these Vita vlogs are kind of just like, they're a therapeutic for me, but at the same time, I'm really hoping some people out there are going to see this and they're going to be like, I'm kind of going through the same thing this dude is going through, and maybe you'll get some benefit from these things. Because I know when I randomly watch videos like this that are, kind of improvement stuff on the internet, I pick and choose what I think is really good for me, and I try to go from there. So yeah, next 3 videos, today, tomorrow, the next day, all going to be tied together in kind of like how to improve your life a little bit. But today we're talking about detox, and I'm not talking about like a juice cleanse, like, oh my God, buy this like $50 juice and then like only drink it for a week, feel like you're almost gonna die, but then, oh my God, you'll feel so much better. That's not what I'm trying to do here, okay? If you want to do that, go for it, but my detox is not, you're not gonna have to buy anything. It's just gonna all about not doing something, okay? And I did this recently. So I had a detox recently, and it really made me realize, some things. So to let you know on one of the things that I did detox, I think actually, before I go into this, also, only do one detox, disclaimer, only do one detox at a time, because your boy tried to do 3 things at once during the No Nut November scandal. I talked about this in my mental breakdown video that came out a while back. Don't do a bunch of detoxes at once. You'll drive yourself insane. I genuinely think that was part of the reason why I was so stressed the fuck out back in November. But anyways, so yeah, one detox at a time. And the thing I detoxed recently was spicy content. If you haven't picked up on it, ladies and gentlemen, also this is Sin City, which is a adult kind of like book. Well, it's a mature audience. I wouldn't say adult. Adult makes it seem like it's super, super spicy. But you haven't know, I love me some explicit content. I'm totally cool with it. I'm open about it. I think it's okay as long as you're doing it respectfully. You're not fucking throwing it in people's faces, all that jazz. But I'm very open with that. I have no problem with saying that. People would say I'm down bad, and I would agree. But yeah, the reason why I do, even though I very openly admit stuff like that, I am also very aware if I feel like I'm watching it too much or I'm experiencing it too much or whatever. So I will take breaks from time to time. I will delete apps. I will block websites. I'll do whatever to not overdo it. I feel like I am kind of just pretty chill with it, and it doesn't bother me, and it 100% does not distract me from, like doing my job or like meeting up with friends or anything like that. Like it wouldn't be considered an addiction, although with how chill I am about it, some people might view it as that way. So I often like to challenge myself to see, hey, you know what? If it is an addiction, then I probably wouldn't be able to quit it, right? So recently I went through a week detox of nothing spicy, nothing like that. And I wanted to see what would happen, because I've read a lot of people are like, oh yeah, if you don't do this, your brain goes into Super Saiyan mode and you start doing all of this crazy stuff you never thought about. And like, I think people do demonize it a lot, and it tries to say like you'll become like this fucking higher being if you can get rid of it. And so I'm like, all right, let's not do it for a week. And that's what I did. I cut it cold turkey. I deleted apps, or I blocked the websites, or I just didn't visit them. And, to be honest, it was an interesting experience. I did, in the first couple of days, kind of like muscle memory was like, I should go to that website. I'm like, oh, no. I was like, that's not going to be there. Or I'm like, oh, I should actually maybe check out this story. Because, I'm a fan of reading the spicy manga. And I'm like, fuck. I was like, there's some stories that I'm reading right now that are actually pretty good. And I can't read them. And I kind of noticed, the one thing I did notice was, yes, there was like muscle memory to go there. But I was just like, oh, we're not going to do that. And I also, I did kind of like there wasn't like an itch, like I'm like, oh, I need to do that. Like it wasn't anything like that. But I did notice that I'm like, it is kind of part of my day. Like it was kind of part of my day to go read a story or to, like I said, visit Twitter or Reddit or whatever, where that stuff is just like readily available, right? And it just pops up everywhere. And I was just like, oh man, I caught myself like knowing that I'm like, maybe I do spend a lot of time just going to these websites that are wasting my time. And like they're definitely, obviously all social media, unless it's your job, is pretty much an unproductive thing to do. And now look, I'm not here to be the guy that's like, oh, you should always be productive. No, look, dude, it's okay to scroll on Instagram or whatever. Just don't do it for 8 hours a day. You know what I mean? Like I have a time limit on my Instagram. I got an hour a day and then it shuts off because I know how easy it is to fall into just watching videos over and over. And so that's what I learned through this detox. Like at first I was like, there's muscle memory to go to these websites. And I'm like, dude, I used to do this like so many times throughout the day. And I'm just like, okay, that's cool. Let's not do that. And then the powerful thing about a detox is you start learning, like, one, what I just said, but two, you start feeling it with something else. This was the most powerful thing about doing a detox. If you are somebody that is going to quit like social media or something for a week like that, you're going to replace it with something. I don't know why this happens. I don't know what it works. I don't know if it's just because you realize you have so much more time, you're going to do something different. And what my brain replaced spicy content with was chess, which was crazy because I'm also going through the anxiety stuff. It's another reason why I wanted to do the detox too. I was like, oh, yeah, actually, that was actually a big reason why I did the detox was I wanted to see if spicy content was a distraction because, there are good coping mechanisms and bad coping mechanisms when it comes to anxiety. And I'm like, oh, what if this is a bad coping mechanism? Let me test it out. I still had anxiety during that week. I mean, it was still medium, all that jazz. But one thing I wanted to do was like, well, I do need something that keeps me in the moment. I need to be present. That's part of, what keeps anxiety going is you're too focused on the future. And you're not focused on what's happening now. So the game of chess really kept me focused in the now because it's a strategic game. You got to plan out. I mean, there's a little bit of future stuff involved because you got to plan out your next moves. But for the most part, you're thinking about in that moment. I play like 10-minute games on my phone. I play 1-minute games because they're just like that. And I don't care if I win or lose. I did that for a week. I basically replaced all the spicy time with games of chess. I did not get any better, okay? I'm still stuck hard between 300 and 400, but I enjoy it. It's fun. And the cool thing about this is, one, I think chess is a positive thing. It makes you think. It's getting you some better brain activity, all that jazz. And when you win, it's cool. When you lose, it's very infuriating. Unless you play bullet chess. I feel like bullet chess doesn't matter. I don't think there's that much skill in bullet chess. I think everybody's just kind of moving their pieces as fast as possible because you get wins for timeouts. Like, what the hell? Like, that's so easy. Just make sure the other person's thinking. I'm just like, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I'm sure chess masters could kill me in a second in bullet chess. But anyways, that's the biggest thing I noticed. I was like, oh, my brain decided to fill what may be a negative thing with a positive thing. And since the detox, I will say the moment the detox was over, I was like, I was back into the spicy mode, visiting the, fucking Twitter and all that jazz, like no problem. So maybe it was a bad thing, but I still did it for the whole week. No problems, didn't cheat, all that jazz. And I still have the chess fascination. And the thing I noticed is I'm playing chess just as much. Meaning I'm not even going, now that I have the ability, because I'm not doing the detox anymore, I'm not going to see spicy content or those, I'm spending so little time on Twitter, it's insane. Like, I probably go to Twitter once or twice a week, if that. Because I'm playing so much chess. Like, I'd rather just be doing that. I feel like it's a better use of my time, and it's enjoyable. So that's, I think, the biggest reason. I think if you need a detox from soda, if you need a detox from junk food, fast food, if you need a detox from maybe a bad friend, or you need a detox from maybe your family, whatever you feel you need to detox, do it for a week. Granted, disclaimer again, if you are like actually an addict, get professional help. Because that can be very dangerous from you. A video I saw recently that I thought was very, very intriguing was from Dr. K. Now, I should say this video was talking about his clients that suffered from porn addiction. He was talking about how the best way he treats his audience, his clients, is he doesn't have them go cold turkey because that can be very bad for you. Going cold turkey can, like, your brain is going to want the addiction and it's going to get louder and louder. And if you end up giving in at like the loudest point, your brain makes this connection that says like, oh, to get what we want, we just need to go to max volume and he'll give us what we want every time. And that's very dangerous. You know what I mean? That's very dangerous to do because then you're always going to give into the temptation because you're at max volume. So what he does, what he was talking about, again, this is specifically to his, freaking porn addicted clients. I don't think he mentioned this with alcohol or drugs because I think that's very different. But he would say, make it a time of day you do that. Like, keep your addiction to that time of day. I will only do this at 9 p.m. That way your brain gets the fix it wants, but it only happens at a certain time of day. And eventually, you're still getting that fix, so you're not feeling like withdrawals, but then eventually you're going to skip it one day. Like, one day you're not going to care. You're like, oh, it's 9 o'clock. I can look at boobies. I kind of want to finish this project or I want to play this game. And I think that's a very thing. And I've actually been trying that. I've been doing that since I saw that video, and it works. There are definitely times when I'm like, I'm going to continue playing PUBG or I'm going to continue playing this or whatever. So, like, if you want to try to weed stuff out of your life, like, you can make it in smaller increments. Like, just have a certain time of day that you actually do the thing that you feel is maybe hindering your life a little bit. Obviously that might be different from family and all that kind of jazz, especially if you live with them. But I just wanted to let you know that if you feel like there is something that is taking up a lot of time in your life, or maybe hurting your health or something like that, give yourself a detox. And again, if you're an addict, you need to see professional help. I wouldn't do this because it could actually be harmful to you if you cut cold turkey. But I have done this. Like I said, it was very beneficial to me. If you feel like there's something in your life that might be, maybe getting in the way, maybe you're just doing it a little too much, maybe you don't see it as a big problem, but you are, maybe doing it too much, consider doing a detox, because I do think it clears your mind. And again, your brain is going to want to fill that time with something. And that, I think, can be very positive. Now, hopefully you're not like, I'm giving up this, so I'm taking up this even worse thing. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do cocaine instead. Like, don't do that. Try to fill the void with something productive and maybe fun. And this might be where you pick up a new hobby. It might be where you actually start working on that freaking project you've been wanting to do forever. So yeah, that is the first thing I wanted to talk about. Tomorrow, the next thing probably won't be as long as this video, but it is something that I do think a lot of people need to do that they really hate doing. So definitely hit that subscribe button. Tune in for tomorrow if you want to get some more advice on how you can better yourself just in your day-to-day life. But I'll see you in the next Vita vlog.